the recorded data will be used for, or may be used for, the research purpose. The model is down since last night, right? I tried last night as well. Yeah, I thought like we will start at 10:30, but maybe at 10:15, and we can sort of introduce each other who are in the class today. There's not a lot of people today. It's only the first class, so that's all right. Perhaps we can start with the people who have come today in person. Maybe Peter, we can start with you. Do you want to come here and show the people, or we can just talk from there? No, just 5 minutes for the introduction of the students. So do you want to show yourself, or you can talk from there as well? You can join. Yeah. So then maybe Turjo. You can come here. So we're just introducing each other. Yeah, people are watching you.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Dr Sanaul. I'm studying Masters in Software Engineering, and this is my first semester here at LUT. I've come from Bangladesh, and I've got a lot of experience working in the IT industry. And so after graduation, I've worked for quite some time there. I have expertise in developing ERP systems, financial technology systems, and uh, e-commerce platforms.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And why did you choose the course?
Oh, I believe to make the world a better place, we need to study more about sustainable development. We need to focus on the sustainable development goals the UN has provided.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought this course would be beneficial for me to establish or gather some sort of knowledge about how I can implement sustainability in IT.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have another on-site participants, Peter.
Yeah, so my name is Peter. I'm exchange student,
Nice.
master degree. So I'm here like for the final year of the master degree, and I'm from Slovakia. And
Oh,
I'm here.
Slovakia.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I've been to Bratislava.
yeah,
That's a nice place.
yeah,
Yes.
kinda.
Yes, yes. Are you from that Slovakian Institute of Technology, something?
No, I'm studying in Czech Republic.
Oh, Czech Republic, nice.
in
Prague.
Brno.
That's also a very beautiful place. Yes.
Yeah, in University of Technology in Brno.
Oh, I know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And I'm here for 2 semesters, like this one and
Yeah.
and summer semester.
Nice. That's good. Yes. And this course was sort of mandatory for you?
No,
You
I
just have selected.
can just chose
Okay.
this.
Okay. And why did you choose it?
Because I wanted some software engineering, or this looked like something interesting.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
like.
Yeah. Interesting. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter, for joining us. Yeah. So maybe just starting from that, we have 3-4 minutes left and not that much description. Shall we start with Samuel from online, please? Samuel, can you hear us? Or maybe then we can move to Floria.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, very well. Thank you.
So, hello, my name is Florian Tanchon. I'm in master degree in software engineering and telecommunication. I'm from France. I'm an exchange student, and yeah, that's it. So I've taken this course because this goes by my principles. I mean, sustainability is one of the things that I focus on,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's why I'm here today.
Excellent. So is it you are also have coming, you are also coming for the 2 semesters here, like
No,
Peter?
1 semester.
1 semester, right, right.
Yeah.
And this was your mandatory course. Okay, I get it. Yes. So how are you enjoying LUT? It's good?
Oh yeah, really good. I really like
Yes.
Finland and the people here. No,
Okay,
this
good
is
to know that.
this has been really fun. Yeah,
Yes,
really
yes.
nice.
Good to know that. That's what we want from the students. Thank you, Florian, for your talk. And then Nelly?
Yeah. Hi. So I'm Nelly. I'm starting my second year master's degree, so hopefully the last year. I'm doing a double degree program with LUT and AIU, focusing on sustainable ICT solutions, basically. So this was one of the courses that wasn't necessarily mandatory, but it was one of 4 courses I think that I could pick from. And well, I actually started studying environmental engineering originally when I came to LUT. So I have a big interest in sustainability and environmental issues in general.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you. So, so you'll be now residing in LUT or in Finland for your second year, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you very much, Nelly, for your short and nice presentation. Then we move to if Jules is there. Uh, yeah, hi, Jules. Now we cannot hear you. Okay, maybe something went wrong with your headphone, but you can type, of course, if the microphone is not working. That's not a problem. And then
No, you can hear me?
yeah, now we can hear you, yes. Jules, go on,
Okay,
please.
so hello, I'm Jules. I'm an exchange student as well. I'm from France and I study computer science at INSA Lyon. I was really interested by this course because I was president of an engaged association who was standing for green IT and was working towards UN development key points. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jules. You are you also connected with Florian by any chance, or you two have sort of different university?
I think we are in the same university.
Oh,
In
okay,
fact,
okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So you are based in Laprant at the moment?
yeah.
Okay, good to know that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah, so now we sort of have introduced each other. So of course there is another one participant that you can see, who is Laura, who is also part of this course, but not as a student. Laura is doing her doctoral researcher at the Department of Software Engineering. So Laura will be helping you with dealing with the course. So she's the TA, so teaching assistant in this course. So thank you, Laura, for joining us. Laura is actually sitting just in front of me. All right, as you know that the Moodle is down, so we will be uploading the PDF file for today and some instructions of how we'll be grading from time to time. So please give us some time, couple of days, then we can upload all the documents so it makes clear to you. But of course, you have found some information of how the course will be delivered from time to time. This course actually, I would say it's more about participatory study, so you come up more with the discussion with your classmates on site or even online. Now, the reason for we are giving this option to the people on the online implementation by year, which I'll be describing you a little bit later. So I'm just sharing the course overview. Just 1 second. this one. There will be another one. Just give us some time. Back and use the PDF. Yeah. So welcome everyone for this course, and of course, you must be knowing me by showing the name of me. So I'm also working at the Software Sustainability Research Group at the Department of Software Engineering, School of Engineering Science at LUT and La Peranta campus. So we have a group, bunch of students. We're working on this, students and staff researchers in software sustainability. And Professor Yariporos is our line manager at the superior, who is really focusing this sustainability in the context of software. So what will happen is from the next class, because on the Moodle, of course, you have seen that we will be having a total of 5 different classes, out of which today is the sort of the introductory. So it will be sort of more about knowing the structure. Today, it's not that participatory classes or study that we'll be conducting. But of course, then what will happen from the next class? So there will be, of course, the model is not there, so I cannot show you, but I think you already have read it, and that there will be a book. The details of the book is down, it's showing on the Moodle, but I also have the link of that book, so I can show you today because the model is not showing. So what will happen is you select the course material based on what the teachers like, what we will be telling you, and then you will be reading it. So today we'll be giving you the task of reading that book for 1 to 4 chapters. Laura will be telling you more about this. And then at the next class, you will be having some discussion. So we all will be having the discussion. It's not like a normal lecture, like the teachers are teaching and the students are listening. It's like we all will be equally distributed. And then, say, for example, you submit the task, what will be based on 1 to 4 chapter. And then we talk about that. So the submission, so 1-pager review that which you will be submitting, and then you discuss about that. So aim of the module to more thinking critically. So critical thinking skill and trying to find the core gaps or the problem to improve it accordingly as well. If you are thinking from the IT and sustainability side, and use this skill to sort of express and reflect and have a brainstorming and talking with each other about different sustainability perspectives, because sustainability is something not only talking from the IT side, but it also has some other dimensions which we'll be talking today. Team-based discussion. So you will be talking in the team. So students will be divided in several teams based on the number of students. Individual and group evaluation. So you will be evaluated individually and on a group based as well. So how you are performing in the group context and how you're also working throughout the team assessment or even individual submission of your work, or even coming here on the online or even on-site session. So now what do you have to do? So this comes more about your task submission, so assessment kind of stuff, or even the 4 upcoming sessions, what you will be doing. So you just read the materials, which is on the Moodle, create 1-page review of each chapter, and then main points, challenge and solution outcomes, 3 statements question you want to make out of the chapter, and submit your reviews before the session deadline. So the day when we have our next session, before that you have to submit this. And then on the second term, you come up with the presentation and discussion. So based on what you have submitted, you can tell that, hey, this is what I have done, what I have found by reading those materials by ourselves. So for example, if I submit 1 page and then I can talk, hey, this is what I read from that text, from those chapter, and this is what I have found. And then based on that, we talk with each other, we ask questions, we criticize positively. So take those feedbacks positively, and we try to dig down more and improve our learning by sharing each other's knowledge. So then you prepare, of course, a short presentation, which is telling you, of course, then what you have learned or what you have read from those books, sort of the short presentation that you are giving to us. And then you will be assigned to some personal or group task after each session. In each session, we will be telling you. So it's sort of some game kind of activities that you will be playing with those. Now, but before that, I need to tell you, this course is not that purely practice based. Of course, there are sort of the discussion, but this course requires a lot of reading materials, which is good. I actually also am finding it interesting because um, I have been doing this sustainability research for a few years, but now what I personally feel, there are a lot of things that I also need to improve by myself. So this course is also helping me to learn and getting more information from the literatures. So personally, I also consider as a student of this course as well. So yeah, so just don't get afraid with a lot of text, what's in the books, but this is totally fine because this sustainability and a lot of things, these are quite new things. There are a lot of things to know from the textbooks. So if you have any question, you can ask me now. That's fine. For the grading and everything now, there might be some question, I know that. So of course, this is something we have given you, but for the grade evaluation and everything, we can give you more description on the Moodle or even on the forum. So feel free to ask any sort of question there. But what I really wanted to write on the Moodle, but this is not working. There are some bonus as well if you want to see the grade. So if for today, of course, you don't get anything, but there was a pre-task. I think most of you have submitted. There is a point for that, so an extra bonus. So of course, in Finnish context, you know, from 0 to 5 is the grading. So if someone submitted the pre-task, they have got some bonus point. For example, it could be 0.25, something like this, but we'll be giving you the exact bonus points on the Moodle. So congratulations to those who got these bonus points already. And then what we have decided to this year, we also will be giving some bonus point if you are coming in person, because this participatory study, it's quite popular in Scandinavian region. It has been actually originally generated from historically from this region. If you just look on the history. So what we really want to interact you physically, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to come there if you have some like some office task or something like that. But if you're coming here in person, you get 0.50 credit. So say, for example, from next class, counting from next class, not from today because you don't know nothing about today. So that's completely fine. So from the next class, you will have 4 classes in total, if I can remember, yes. So in each of the class, you will be graded the bonus 0.50 extra. and then we'll be doing the average. So for example, if someone attended only 2 classes in person and the 2 rest classes online, and in that case, their graded will be average. And if your total grade becomes 4, then you will get 0.25 because you attended 2 classes. So 4.25. So in this way, you can improve your grade. This is a sort of a good way of um, improving your grade. And then the question, and of course, I think this bonus is, of course, a lot of students are familiar with that as well, because a lot of teachers are using it. If someone scored 5, then of course, if you get this 0.25 from the pre-task and 0.50 from the bonus of the class, then you get 5.75. But what you can do with the extra point, maybe you can make yourself happy that you have achieved an extra milestone to make yourself intrinsically a winner of the planet. So any question? Just closing this. Okay, I think is Damien is the new here? Hi, Damien. Damien, can you hear us? Okay, if there is no question, then Laura, would you like to say something before I start my lecture?
No. The main points at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just showing on the time frame because the model is not showing. Let's share the screen again and see the time frame that we have. I already have sent you on the email, on your personal email today, because just in case you don't see this on the Moodle. So here you can see the description of the team meeting links and everything. So you don't have to be worrying about the next class, as some of you emailed me today about that. So as you can see that the next class is starting on 29th of September, starting from 8:30 to 4:45. Depends on how many students we have who are attending. We will be dividing you into 2 to 3 groups. So there is another question raised by you on the Moodle. I just want to make everyone clear so that there is no sort of confusion arise. So participants who are attending lecture session, both online and on-site. And participants, you will be watching, there is another one called online implementation throughout the year. So because based on your request, because some of you are not being able to attend the live session, we have thought of opening that. So you will be watching those participants who are attending the online implementation throughout the year. They are not here, but they will be having their own system of submitting their task. For instance, they will be submitting the quiz programs and some reports. It's in the system, so you can watch it. I think there was also some concern because what we notice, we have found some very less amount of students attending physically and selecting more on the online. But then when the model will be available, we will give you the option so that we can identify, because most of you now have selected the online option. But within the online option, there are online participants, so online implementation throughout the year, which is a self-study, and online participants who are attending with us. So like attending online, but on the live session, like right now what we're having. This is something you need to be filling up. But for that, we will be sending the information on the forum module and also maybe on the email, if this is okay for you. So that's the part that I wanted to make clear. Otherwise, this might make you some confusion. Any question from Peter or Tujo? Yeah, okay. So, of course, you see that it's only 4 class. You don't have to coming every, because I know like some courses, it depends. Some course has been designed for 1 hour you have to attend. But in our course, it's sort of the whole day like a workshop, but you get sort of more intensive view. And then you have the class on 11th of October, and then 25th of October, and then 27th of November. That's it. That's the end of your course. So you have to need to be writing some task based on these classes. Right. So I'm just taking some 5 minutes or 4 minutes break, and then we will start with our lecture session with the presentation slides. Perhaps meanwhile, I can email you all about these two different PDF which I wanted to upload today because the model is not working. So you can have a look on that. Thank you. Just 5 minutes break. Yeah. Yeah. That's the- Yeah, I have just sent you all the materials for today's lecture. Okay, so now we can start with the introduction lecture. Yeah. So 1 second. Before that, just sharing the sound option. Okay, just 1 minute. Yes, so thank you very much again for joining and staying with us. Today it's not like just very small description of an introduction of sustainability and IT. So there is a video that shows you um, the problem, what is happening in the current world, and that I was finding it quite interesting. Some of you might have seen it on the social media kind of stuff. It's like 30 seconds video, so finishing in 20 seconds. So the red colors are, as you can see, that the problem with the global warming and the climate change, this is really happening. It's not my talk, it's the data from the 100 years data actually of the scientists and the people they have been collecting. It's a great problem actually. And then now people started to have this conversation. Now we have to come up with something that if this problem is it's happening, and then what's the solution? How can we come up with this? What could be the best thing we can do to save the earth? Of course, we have done it by ourselves, but then how did it happen? Is it because what we have been utilizing from the earth, or is it because that what we have been designing or developing or making our life better? Or is it something that really made our life better and sort of pushing the earth away from us? Yeah, then you talk about the sustainability. That's what I have been talking. And then because now it's a big issue, before people were saying, oh, no, something like that. Now the world leaders around the world, they have become so much careful. That there are a lot of actions and there are a lot of meetings and conference going on, even in the policy level. You can see from the United Nations, this SDG 70 goals or whatever. They are really, every countries in the world are trying to push these things. Apart from the culture or the ethnicity, whatever. Now, coming again, sustainability, it might have different definition. Even you can think of from your side differently. If you even search on the Google, the Oxford Dictionary will give you some definition from the environmental side, and some other definition might be coming from the other people in different way. But again, sustainability, how I see as a normal people, being a user, if I think, maybe using the sustainability of what? A product, sustainability of what? A house. So maybe I can use the house for a long time. Sustainability of what? Maybe the chair that I'm sitting on. or sustainability of the world. If I'm thinking about sustainability of the chair, I might be thinking about the tool like the chair or the table that I'm sitting right now. It has this automated machine, so I will be making sure that it is not consuming that much electricity, because the price of the electricity has become a bit expensive. Or is it me only thinking from the expense side, or I'm also thinking why not using a manual table to save that electricity in a way that the electricity is being produced by some oil which is not good for the earth. Okay, there is another video. This gives a sort of a more idea, I think 2 to 3 minutes video defining sustainability. They will be talking about how you see from the environmental side, equity side, and economy side. And then we can get some idea how I always try to do with my lectures. I think some of you might be attending some of my other modules. I always try to give people less text but more infographic information, so sort of the video or even interaction, asking people, other students. But before that, now we'll be starting this video from the physical participants. Peter or Turjo, any hints? How do you define sustainability? So now you see the three: environment, equity, and economy. How can you just 10 seconds, just a couple of words? No, you can tell just loudly, that's all. Everyone can hear. Whatever, it doesn't have to be perfect, because well, I'm learning as well. Energy or something like that. Very good. Yes, it's actually in the slides as well. So you're right in one sense. So very good.
What I believe that since all the countries in the world or all the nations in the world, they're like sort of developing or they're moving towards a better future in terms of technology, in terms of industries, but simultaneously they're like taking all the resources from the earth as well, leaving none for the future.
Yeah.
So sustainable development defines that simultaneously we're developing ourselves as well as we're like saving resources and saving the planet for our future generations as well.
Yeah. Okay. I hope the online participants, you have heard of what Turjo said. Can you just give us a shout, or I can loudly say? Did you hear?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so what you mentioned, Turjo, you mentioned from the environmental side and art side. Now we are merging this IT and sustainability. We sort of are thinking of that, but yeah, what you are mentioning, it's okay. Just it's like you're taking everything from your mother, but then what you are keeping uh, in the future. So let's watch the video again and get some idea. Thank you.
What is sustainability? One of the more common definitions of sustainability used worldwide is from the UN Brundtland Commission. They say sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So put simply, sustainability is about our kids and our grandkids. How do we live today so that they can thrive and future generations can also have a good life? Our planet has many resources that we depend on for food, for housing, and many of those resources can replenish. You can cut down a tree and grow new trees. You can catch fish and there will be more fish. But that only works if you do it at a rate that these systems can replenish. We call that the replacement rate. You could think of it as a bathtub, and you're draining the bathtub and filling the bathtub at the same rate. And if you do that, then the level of the water should be able to stay stable. We call that equilibrium. It's not that you're not using any resources, you are, but you're doing it at a rate that the systems are able to stay somewhat steady. Right now, and over the past few decades, what we're seeing is that we are consuming resources much faster than the replacement rate. And the result of that, draining the bathtub faster than filling it, is that those levels are going down. We're seeing fisheries disappearing and other ocean life. We're seeing forests disappearing. Of course, everyone is familiar with the impacts of climate change and, other impacts of this level of consumption, plastics in the ocean, all of these problems. So ultimately, sustainability is about understanding how all of this is connected, understanding that when you make a decision to buy a smartphone, you are impacting someone's life on the other side of the planet who's involved in mining the materials to put in that smartphone. So sustainability is about systems thinking. One of the other big frameworks that we use to talk about sustainability is the 3 E's. In business, we call that the triple bottom line. Some people call it the 3 legs of the stool. And that's environment, economy, and equity. And it's not just about understanding that we need to manage all of those. It's understanding how they're connected. So if you only look at short-term economic profit, then you're not going to end up with a thriving economy in the long term. If you're only looking at conserving the environment without thinking about economics and understanding, how people are making their livelihood, you also may not end up with a thriving society. And if you aren't looking at equity, you're going to end up with a few people that have most of the resources and many people who are hungry and not living a good life. And that's not really a successful human society either. So sustainability is really about addressing all of those and understanding the connections between them.
Yeah, that's just a very short video, but it simply sort of described simply that's what we are looking. Sorry, just this. Going to the next slide.
What is sustainability?
So, right. Okay, now sort of have some idea sustainability, which you already know, and now you're just sort of connecting. Just a couple of days ago, I was trying to make the slides, and what I have seen, surprisingly, wow, and I was so much feeling proud to live in Finland, that when you talk about 17 SDG goals, Finland has ranked number 1. It's from the website. Okay, the link I haven't shared this, but this is something one of the official. They have sort of measuring how each country is trying to filling the key requirements of the 17 SDG goals. So it looks like most of the Scandinavian or Nordic regions, they are doing pretty much good in the context of sustainability, where even though all the countries are trying the level best, but still it's a key issue because the SDG goals is telling you to reach your goal by 2030, but then can we reach all the goals by 2030 when you think about this technological thing combining with the sustainability? It's still questionable thing. So when you think about the sustainability, right? It depends, like, because different communities, they can come out their own definition, and you can think of the sustainable computing in different ways. But then, of course, giving you some example, people might be thinking from the environmental side, what Turjo was talking about. People might be talking about human health and technology, connected to what we are using, sort of the energy, what Peter was mentioning just a couple of minutes ago. And arts and society is more about the voice and awareness, what type of freedom or what type of life you want to choose by yourself, or even from the business side. So that's more going with the economy, sort of the production, that if you are coming, are you really caring about the environment when you're producing, or just only making profit, just for the business boom up? But in this case, IT or ICT, it is actually playing a very fundamental role, rather than thinking of this thing. So this can make up a strong connection with all these perspectives that we have been showing you in this picture, for example. Now, this is how we have been thinking that there is a great, it is the time, it is imperative to realize that the importance of sustainable development. in every sphere of our life, thinking about those dimensions, which were in the previous slides. But how it can be done? Um, how the people we have been dealing with this, how the citizens are reacting, and best because now a couple of years ago they had this Paris Agreement. I think Peter knows it better, right? Um, have you heard of Paris Agreement? Yeah. So it has been initiated in 2015, and most of the leaders worldwide, they have come up with very strong negotiations and kind of things that what it needs to be done. But what was there in the Paris Agreement? What these people mentioned, how these people sort of expressed our voice. Anyone from the online participants, do you know about this Paris Agreement? Of course, I'll be showing in the video and the description on the next slide. But before that, I just a quick question. Maybe anyone knows by not searching the Google? Just any idea?
Yeah, I can try.
Please, thank you.
So it's an international agreement of many countries to try to set objectives on what should be done in the next few years. And I believe it was done in the COP 21, the COP 21, sorry, so at Paris. And so this is basically it what it is.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, thank you. Is it Florian or Jules? Because I cannot see your name. Is it
It's Florian.
Florian,
Florian.
thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thanks. So you know already, yes. Thank you very much for sharing your knowledge with us. Yeah, so again, not showing the slide again. There is a video, an official video from these people. They already have described in this infographic description what is there in the Paris Agreement, because now people are thinking these world leaders are really trying to boost it up, linking up this the problem with the environment, and then of course problem with this art and kind of stuff in line with the sustainability. So here is again another infographic video. This is something that we can learn and the code of conducts and how does it work with this. Just watch it just few minutes. Thank you.
To limit global warming to well below 2, preferably to 1.5 degrees Celsius compared to pre-industrial levels. This requires economic and social transformation to face the climate challenges now and moving into the future based on the best available science. The Paris Agreement works on a 5-year cycle of increasingly ambitious climate action. By 2020, countries communicate their plans known as nationally determined contributions. Countries communicate actions they will take to reduce their greenhouse gas emissions in order to reach the goals of the Paris Agreement. Countries also communicate actions they will take to build resilience to adapt to the impacts of rising temperatures. This may include information on adaptation and finance flows. The Paris Agreement also provides a framework for financial, technical, and capacity building support to those countries who need it. Starting in 2024, countries report transparently on actions taken. Collective progress under the Paris Agreement will be assessed through a global stocktake. This will lead to recommendations for countries to set more ambitious plans in the next round.
Yeah, this is from the United Nations Climate Change official website anyway. So, okay, just moving to the next slide now. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so what we have learned from this infographic video again, they talk about this greenhouse and kind of things. So, and also talking about the temperature rise, which is really happening. There is a weird weather in Europe. I haven't experienced this in my life. I don't know if I've experienced, Laura, this sort of weather. Quite unusual, and also in the South Asian context, the temperature has risen a lot, so hot, so 2 degrees, 3 degrees more, feeling temperature even higher. So thinking about the greenhouse emission and how can you solve it, how to reduce the temperature, they are sort of providing framework in each of the countries so they can follow those models or the paradigm. Based on that, they can improve the sustainable achievement. So let's see what happens in 2025 in the 5-year cycle with these each countries. Now, again, connecting with this video, sustainability to examine or to analyze sustainability for a service or a system, it is necessary to define what to sustain. So if I am thinking something, if, for example, maybe after this degree you will be involved in your job or in the industry, or maybe become an entrepreneur, or maybe running your own existing family business, or own thing, something like this, a self-employed person, whatever. Then how you'll be thinking a system, what to sustain. So 4 question, and then I added one last from Tainter 2006, for whom you're thinking in the context of sustainability, and the duration, for how long you're thinking. Are you thinking in the short term or in the long term? And then at what cost? Uh, are you really able to bear the cost, the funding? Can you proceed with that? And the finally question comes: how can you do it to make it happen? Is it feasible? So how can you do maybe some sort of feasibility study you can come up, or a pilot study that you can think of to measure how you can do it? Then you think about our future way of thinking, systems thinking, from the connection of these 3 different triple bottom line: ecological, economical, and social perspectives. So then again, some motivation behind that. It's coming when you talk about the legislation. You think about carbon reduction commitment, compulsory carbon trading, and corporate social responsibility. You think about employee, consumer, client, or user or stakeholders pressure, the demands from them, and kind of things. Cost saving, when Peter was mentioning, as I was telling you, yes, it's in the slide. So as you can see, Peter is talking about energy saving. I'm also trying to save my electricity bill by myself by turning off the lights most of the time. Um, Energy saving, money saving, yes, that's what it's talking about. But then the question to you now, both to the online and offline participants, what do you think is the key reason for the citizens to think about this? Any question? Or maybe you can ask a question by reading this question in your mind and get an answer from that. Okay, just you can think. That's okay. In that case, I can move to the next slide. So thinking about that, connecting us, green ICT, or ICT for greening. So when you talk about green ICT, and any simple answer from you, what do you see, Laura? Green ICT, you have been working.
Yeah.
I know you know a lot of more than that, so more than me actually. So, like couple of words, green ICT.
What it is.
Yes.
Of course, it's the energy,
Yes.
energy efficiency to make things so that they use as less energy as possible. But also for greening, what you can do with the solution to reduce the energy consumption in somewhere else.
Yeah. Very well said. Connecting to that, so for example, a very simple thing is low coding, if you know that. So like the software engineers, they're sort of when you develop the software, so you make sure you don't code a lot, so that it's really taking time, and at the same time, because you're running that computers as well, so it's generating heat, and also it's being connected to the server. So the machines involved there. So the cost is also connected, because for the server hire and the space, you're also paying money to that service holder, or to that agent, or maybe to that ecosystem part. So this is something, a simple example of what I mentioned, Laura mentioned. And then this 246 base from Thabit and Jasim, they mentioned the drivers of green ICT, the cost which already we described, government legislation, of course, this is the government policy, and how these people, I showed you the video of this Paris Agreement, like that each of the countries, they have their own framework, and they have, based on the framework, they are trying to applying the policy into practice. And then political and social pressures, the voice from the citizens, or even so citizens means like this, from the child to the older citizen. So it doesn't have to be like someone who is sort of the expert of it. It's like the people's voice, and then you get this feedback from them, and then you sort of kind of try to change, and then enlighten self-interest. So individuals' way of thinking, what I am getting benefited from those part, sort of more about making me a part of the process, feeling much more relaxed and comfortable, um, getting the self-esteem and competence from that green ICT thing, and responsibilities of ESB and new opportunities of the market. Pretty simple. Moving to that next slide. Why ICT and sustainability? Because Professor Lawrence described this, and then this text from Yariporas, what they actually have tried to combine is, the question comes, how can we harness ICT or IT for the benefits of sustainability? And two things are essential. The first one is to stop or eliminate the growth of ICT footprint. This is something we'll be talking. What does it mean by footprint in the context of ICT? And to find ways to apply IT as an enabler in order to reduce the footprint. So this is quite interesting, because IT is generating a lot of emissions and kind of things, so giving us a bad footprint. But then again, you sort of play with the same thing. So you're taking the ICT again to do the opposite. So basically, you're taking the ICT to reduce the carbon footprint. Um, so the havoc you have done with the same tool, and you're using the same tool to take it out. So this is, of course, connecting with the society of production and consumption that you have made, and then you use that tool and the IT as a tool to reduce the havoc that you have done by yourself. So again, connecting with this green IT and green ICT, the definition what Laura already has given you, short hints, but then some examples, some smart quotation from here. Using IT solution to make other fields more efficient and help them to minimize their carbon footprint. I think this is also what I was telling. I didn't read this anyway. I just took these slides, but then it sort of was also matching to what I was actually telling in this previous slides. Yes. So just moving to the next slide again, a diagram by or a framework that has been published by Hilty and Abisher in 2015 Springer publication. What they highlighted ICT as a part of the problem, and then ICT as a part of the solution, which I exactly mentioned on my previous slide or my conversation. ICT is the problem and ICT is the solution. You think about the technology on the left side and then trying to find you're producing some sort of application or service platform or an app or a system. And then this sort of giving you the enabler sort of changing your behavior. So from the citizen perspective, from the user's perspective, from the actor's perspective, you try to change how to change people's mind, their habit and attitude. When you talk about ICT as a part of the problem, uh, life cycle of ICT, it's there. So disposal and production. If I use the mobile phone and after 2, 3 years, I'm not using it, or even after 5 years, the model is getting old, am I throwing that mobile phone or can I reuse it again to make a new phone? Now I have come to know, I have one of my master students working thesis. He's from Pakistan. He has come up with this interesting topic, that case study, Fairphone, if you have heard of that name of that phone. Giving the Fairphone as an example. Fairphone, a mobile phone company, um, they are actually the only one phone company in the world currently highlighting more sustainable ICT adopting sort of technology. What these people are, if the idea is pretty simple, you can search on the Google as well. So for example, you can literally upgrade the camera in the phone. So you can change the camera, install a new camera. So sort of hardware exchange. And they're also connecting the sustainable goals or something that is really making the phone up. But the problem they're challenging is how they can be spreaded a lot, because somehow they are not that much popular, or they are somehow not that much showing themselves that they are really working on those. People are not finding it that much. So this is sort of what he's trying to find. And that's what we are looking for, how this could be highlighted. What's the problem with that they're failing to focus more. So again, you think about this ICT as a solution. Okay, so I'm not gonna going through each of the elements, but you can of course understand that with that. So it's like basically 3 different layers. So the direct effects, enabling effects, and the systematic effects. This is also connected to on the next slides. We talk about the impacts of these solutions based on these 3 types of effects they are talking about. So ICT as a part of solution, substitution effects. So if there is any substitution and optimization, that the effect that you can measure, and transition towards sustainable patterns of production and consumption. Now connecting that effects again, this sustainability and ICT or IT, European Information Technology, EIT, shortly known as, in 2002, 3 different levels they have described. Green in IT, green by IT, and a change of behavior. So actually, change of behavior is something what I have been doing this research for the 10 years, starting from 2013, behavioral change as a part of my research and study, starting from my master's thesis. So I know a lot of things of change of behavior, but I'm still learning on green in IT and green by IT. How do you define by this? How can you understand by this? Some description about that impacts and opportunities sphere, sustainability sphere, a lot of text. I'm not going to going through with this, but then again, you can just read them. You have my slides. Then it has been described in 3 different effects: first order, second order, and third order. Some key elements you can see. Design and manufacture of ICT equipment, operation of ICT equipment, talks about energy, disposal of ICT equipment, talks about recycling or reusing. I give you one example of this. I think Tujo was testing we are developing a VR game along with the university in Sweden. It's sort of more about waste sorting. Laura, I'll show you maybe today if we have time on the Coda Lab. So what the people, we were trying to teach the citizens so that they can do the waste sorting by themselves. So you take the correct bin for taking the paper, or taking the correct bin for taking the plastics, so you don't mix up. And at the same time, you're also trying to think in a way that not even throwing some of the bins might be useful. So for example, a glass, no, sorry, some bottle of made with the glass, so glass bottle, we can use it as a reusing. So rather than throwing it to the bin, I can take it, and because some other people, for example, if my neighbors throw it out, and then I can take it out from that, because I can use it to keep the glass to keep water, so I don't have to buy in that case a bottle. This is saving money as well, so sort of more sustainable way. That's what we also have been thinking to apply it in our VR games in the next level. So again, so this sort of giving the example so that you can see what is going on. And the second order effects, increase, decrease the use of transport. Yeah, this is something I was doing it, and sometimes I do. I do bicycle. I think Laura and me, like Laura is not was driving before. Laura doesn't live in La Planta. So he was using the public transport. So now it's train, which is more sustainable and cost-effective way of doing the journey. For me, I do walk and also taking the bicycles, e-scooter. Bicycle, of course, good for the health. That's what I have been doing. Of course, during the winter when there is a lot of snow, of course I use the car because of the family and shopping. But that's how I've been trying to do it as a self-interest of mine, how I'm trying to link up with this. I sit in business systems, so think of B2B. When you become an entrepreneur, you think of from that how you can connect those on those. But there is also a gap, because even the companies are showing those. This is something, there is a gap, because I can remember what Professor Yari, when he had one lecture 2 weeks ago, he was telling that even though the companies are showing that the sustainable part is there, but something is missing. This is not really matching those 17 goals of the SDGs. Virtualization of materials products. Yeah, so the VR example is also a simple thing that giving you something, a good learning, and in this way you can virtually think rather than doing it physically. Even attending the class as well. So I really appreciate that some of you are attending online. So that's why I really sort of promote, because in that way you are saving time and money. You don't have to travel. After the COVID, what we have been doing, a lot of home office. Uh, Actually, this is sort of sustainable way, because the company is also saving their office desk, they're saving money, and that money they are also applying into the employee as an incentive, and they're getting more profit, and some of the profit they are also sort of contributing to the sustainable activities on Earth. Effects on products lifetimes. Yeah, this is something I'm using my phone for the last 3 years, highest time. Before that, I was changing every year when I was a student, when I was crazy for the iPhones. But now I'm more with the Android, because it's giving me more access with a lot of apps. But now I'm trying to keep my phone more active in the long term. And then a distribution of manipulation of environmental information. Yeah, so pretty simple what you understand. By the way, decoupling economic growth, energy consumption, decoupling economic growth and carbon emission. I will be talking about this carbon emission a little bit later. So changing settlement patterns, possible increase in environmental pressure on regions, different area. Social aspects. I think we might go for a break soon. I'm feeling a little bit thirsty. So social aspects of it, first order effects, job creation, you can create more jobs. I think it's possible, because now with most of the things are happening online, and you can all, of course, and 21st century is saving a lot of um, workforce, or even the labor time, and you are saving, the companies are saving a lot of time, space, and they can create more jobs because they have more funding or more money. Digital divide, discrepant. Okay, this word sort of English is a bit difficult for me to pronounce. Distribution of access of ICT. Second order effects, access to information. Like in Finland, there's a service called Kunta, health service. It's centralized, which I really like. You can, so for example, as an employee of LUT, I have the access of Tarvestalo Healthcare, which is a private healthcare service. But Tarvestalo, my private healthcare service, they can access the treatment which I took from the Kela Health Service, which is the government healthcare system in Finland. So they can really see that the record of mine. I have some health issues, for example. So they are able to see the problem which I encountered in 2016. Access information and government information available online. So you can see this. So this sort of transparency. This is sort of the social aspects. Yeah, of course, some people might it personal, but then of course, when you think of it is not publicly available, so you can see from the system, this is good for you. It's saving your time, money, and giving you mental relaxation, good for the well-being. That's what I see. But then some people also think if the privacy is there, yes, if the transparency is there, if the policy is transparent, that the privacy is there anyway. The data are protected, so it's not like people are thinking about that. I talk about a lot about citizen because I have been researching more up from those bottom stakeholder or people side. Security challenges. Yeah, so cyber security threat are kind of things you can think of, and that is something should be concerned. Access to better service. I already have given you this example of Konta, so not repeating. New communities online. Internet enables new types of community. Now you can be connected with a lot of people, different cultures. Popular protest. Yes, there are a lot of protests. You can be part of. Maybe using social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Third order effects, cultural diversity and building local communities, building a civic culture. Then growth of ICT, going again to the next slide. First order effects, growth of ICT market, size of sector, number employed. Okay, so just you can just read them. It's pretty simple. Because I just need to finish by 12. So just trying to finish it early. New types of company. Yeah, there are a lot of companies happening with the growth of the IT currently. But then again, we have to be thinking. So this is what I always think. Of course, we know from the startups, 90% of them they fails. But why they fails? They don't think about the long term. How about those 90% startups? They are not doing well. You don't you think of those service again and take up so that they can come up as a new startup. So we don't think about those 90% startups, never. But how about we think them again and giving them an example and so that they can rise again. This is something a question in the current research. The possibilities of ICT, you can keep in touch with the gsi.org to get more information of what is going on with these e-sustainability initiatives in the earth. And ICT emissions, which I talked that what I will be describing. So ICT emission in a simple way, what I see is carbon emission, you do the less carbon emissions. And then you talk about coming up with the slides, giving you the more descriptions, a rapid increase in adoption of services like the mobile phones. I give you the example, or service like cloud computing, even the data centers using blockchain, cryptocurrency kind of stuff, which is additional emission carbon dioxide from the IT. Digitalization use of digital services, which accelerate this sort of development. And it's very, very vital to come up with an efficient ICT solution and as possible. ICT reduction, handprint, How do we mean by this? So ICT can be adopted or utilized in different sectors to decrease or reduce their emission, and um, as well as, so you can see the impacts, bad impacts of this ICT reduction can be hindered. You can see that easily through mobility and logistics. You can think from the food side, learning. I can think from the energy side, think from the building side, think from the health and manufacturing is there. And work and be business, more about community consensus among the stakeholders, government body, industry, how they have been thinking of. Let's take some 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes break. I just need a glass of water, and then we'll move to the next slide, sort of giving you the comparison of footprint versus hand footprint. Just maybe just finishing this. So this is sort of the giving you the versus. So footprint versus handprint. So we are just not describing this to you, so you can sort of see like the comparison what has been done with the footprint and handprint. On the next slide, we'll be talking about sustainability of software engineering. So do you have any question? If there is no question, I will be asking you a question. Okay, I'm making fun anyway. So that's okay. Just let's take some break. Right, so we are back soon again. Excuse me. Yeah, so now we talk about sustainability of software engineering. Because when you talk about this IT, software engineering comes along. So we are not thinking the hardware side, the software engineering people, that's what, but it's more about the softwares that is linked up with all of these sustainable issues or the dimensions we have been thinking. Okay, so software sustainability, as you can see in the picture, I think this is the book that you need to be reading anyway. Calero, ETL 2021, it's in the Moodle. You can find it. The instruction was there, but I think you can also download this PDF of this book because I have downloaded it. Is it really available with the LUT email? I actually have downloaded with that, Laura.
I have also, but
Yeah. Okay. So what I will be doing, because that Moodle is not working and we don't have that much time, I can share the book PDF with all the students with the email, same email, because of course it will take some days for you to read these chapters. It's only 100 pages, but still every day counts. Just so that we want to make sure it's easy for you. We think about economic software sustainability, human software sustainability. That's what my research part is. Green software, what Laura is doing her research in. Environmental sustainability and green by software. So green in software, green by software, two different things. This is connected with environmental sustainability. So again, because on the last slides, when you talk about this footprint, bad and good footprint, and using IT as a leverage of taking the bad footprint of software and systems, and then sustainability within software engineering process. And then you sort of have this handprint of software services, and then increasing the awareness of the effects of softwares and systems. And that's how you can see sort of the layout of this. This could be solved. Now, some text definition or some gist version of footprints of software and systems. How do you understand by this? Some text from greenness and energy measurements of softwares starting from 2010. Couple of researchers, they talked about the way to measure energy efficiency. They talked about some metrics and measurement scaling skills that you can use. And then someone talking about energy consumptions on mobile phone and green software metrics. You can just have a look on that and try to find more insights of that. Extension from simple measurements. Researchers highlighted about pushing the software architecture's use, linking up the energy. Then they're also thinking about green software as definition, measurements, and then sort of guidelines or workbooks for reducing energy. Again, this is more about the energy, because software engineering is highly connected to and focused on the energy consumptions. And then the outcome is software energy consumption can be measured, but the results are highly contextual. Focus that has been shifted from measurements of software to sort of more regular guideline or instructions of workbooks. Sustainability within software engineering process, again, talking about that, you think about software development cycle, how the software development has been developed, and then can think of that sustainability as a software quality and requirements engineering. I think some of you have already have the course requirements engineering. So no description about that. Sustainable interaction design, thinking about design thinking, user-centered design, and then how you can think of energy saving and energy efficiency in the context. So reusing or recycling the services or the products that you are using or you are developing or will be thinking to consider in future. As an outcome, you can just see that thinking software sustainability in the context of management of the whole development life cycle. So what also we need to be thinking, it's not mandatorily software engineers are thinking that how to save the low coding, but it's also the software architects that's also it's responsible to save the energy saving and kind of things. That is linking up the other stakeholders, saving a lot of time, energy, money. Software design has large impact on software longevity, definitely. So this is something as the outcome that you will be getting from this. Now, when as an outcome of role of IT and rebound effects, you think of effects of IT and software systems should be done by thinking all effects. So when you think of rebounding effects, you can think of a book. What there is mentioned is why digitalization will not redeem, and the role of IT, what the researchers highlighted towards a sustainable information society, navigating the terrain of system. Okay, these are the books, and you can just see from the description what they are really trying to talk about. Increasing then extending the perception from technical to multi-dimensional, knowing what to emphasize, and the outcome is there. More holistic evaluation of the effects. Now, I talk about this Karlskrona manifesto. In this manifesto, this is quite interesting because it's sort of giving a sort of a framework, thinking of a couple of dimensions from the sustainable issues connecting with the IT. Statement from a group of researchers, what is mentioned. As designers of software technology, we are responsible for long-term consequences of our designs. Yeah. So Karlskrona, apologies for my accent with this. I always struggle with that. Karlskrona. How do you say it, Laura? Karlskrona manifesto. Karlskrona. I used to say Karilonska because with the Royal KTH stuff. But now when I'm lecturing this, but anyway, so sustainability is systematic, multidimensional, interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary, transcends the software's purpose and is multi-level. So sustainability is multi-opportunity. It involves multiple timescales. It's not zero-sum, and it's important precondition and enabler for sustainability design. So this principle is focusing on that. Key to sustainability, if we think about this Karlskrona manifestos, they talk about 5 dimensions. I think like students from software and application innovation, you will be also having a part of this description of the SUSAS framework and kind of how we are trying to link up this. But now basically what we are talking, this 5 dimension individual aspects. So we are trying to see the impacts of the software service that you are part of it, you are developing or designing or even using or even trying to make money or making business of it. Thinking from the individual side, so user side of the citizen stakeholder side, environmental side, thinking from the technological side or technical side of the products, thinking from the economic side and the social side. Integrating sustainability into requirements engineering. It's one of our colleagues, senior colleagues, what she came up with this nice diagram. And also some of you might be finding it a little bit weird or complex with so many text there. But it's pretty simple because sustainability into requirements engineering uh, with this diagram. Have you seen this in your class, Turjo, by the way? Requirements engineering. Okay. If not, then we can talk a little bit. Don't have that much time, but you sort of find us stakeholders who are part of the process. So software engineers, the users, um, even the government bodies or the industry owners, they are sort of the giving the example of the primary stakeholders. But there are some ways of finding those people. And then once you find it, analyze sustainability of context, business process and life cycle that you think of, and connecting those, um, you elicit sustainability objectives and goals, linking up to that, going up to that next level, because this is talk about the problems. And then on the right side, the framework is telling you the solution of it. So you think about the uses model, so use case diagram or whatever you have in the system, and then system vision of it. And then you think about the quality assurance of the systems, deployment requirements, what you are thinking of that from those side, and process requirements of it, how to do it. Right. Any question for that about this Karlskrona manifesto principles and also seeing this framework? Do you have any questions? If you have any doubts about this manifesto, it's pretty simple. It is actually 5 dimension and couple of questions, qualitative questions, so some questionnaire. So let's say I have 5 dimension. So individual, there are some questions that you can ask. So for example, you're using the HP laptop and you're using the team. So as a software, thinking from the individual side, you can ask some, the questions are there and you can ask by yourself or even to your stakeholder and they can give you the answers. And based on that, you can content analyze of the data that you have. And based on that, you can try to get the more insights of the individual dimensions view. Similarly, same goes for the environmental, economic, and the other dimensions. So this slide is talking more about ICT and sustainability in European level policies. Yeah, so most recent EU Commission priorities, they talk about European Green Deal and a Euro fit for the digital age. And now we'll be talking a little bit more about this European Green Deal and this European digital future. You can get more information from this link of this ec.europe.eu. Europe's digital future, how to shape. Again, you get all this things. So from the EC Commission, they have been, these are the people, they're more on these regulation and policy institutions, that how they're taking the feedback from the citizens and trying to achieve those or making it happen in the real life. And to do this EU emphasis, we think of digital technology that really works for the general people, normal people like us, and fair and transparent and crystal clear a digital economy for everyone, not a monopolistic view, open and democratic and sustainable society. That's we have been fighting all the countries on earth. Europe has been quite successful in this way, I would say. So now when you talk about this Green Deal and from the EC Commission, we have been talking about and this green transition. Now the question again, what is green transition? What do we mean by this green lantern or the proper way from the software engineering side? So how do you define by green transition? I not ask you questions because trying to finish within the time, but there might be something we can be thinking of. about this green transition, the 17th UN General Assembly. 5 ideas for green transitions: transparent carbon markets, efficient and inclusive circular economics, smart energy networks, climate resilient urbanization, and the last one talks about green finance for local climate action. You can get more information if you want to explore by link by searching this event anyway. But these are 5 ideas that connecting with the green transition. How I see green transition. So basically, so like the green coding, so low code AMP. So less carbon dioxide emission, green environment, so green office space, using less structure, saving energy, even turning off the light while I'm working in the office. Even like using the laptops as well, making sure that the not all the time putting the energy there and then consuming electricity. Now, connecting the green transition again, digital technologies from the EU are talking, it's pretty important to become a carbon neutralized society if we really want to make by ourselves. This goal has been set by 2050, the world will become a carbon neutralized. I think like La Paranta city will be carbon neutralized by next year, right? If I can remember, that was the goal. Probably something like by next year something. La Paranta city has been doing good jobs in this, and a lot of cities are doing a lot good in Europe as well. But then again, technologies can support reduce emission by 7 times. Wow, that's super awesome, and reduce global emission up to by 15%. So we, the people who are involved with the technical background, or even working in the technological field, we can make this happen. So how to make this happen? European Green Deal, talking about this green transition. This is again with the EC. They talk about this wings, so 8 different wings. They try to focus climate ambition, increasing climate awareness kind of stuff for 2030 and 2050. So affordable and more sustainable energy. They talk about clean and circular economy and building and renovating in an energy, a zero pollution ambition for toxic free environment, preserving and restoring ecosystem and biodiversity. It's pretty simple to understand. So another one talks about healthy and environmentally friendly food system, more about organic food, so not processed food, healthy way of eating and processing as well, manufacturing, producing, and sustainable smart mobility, a sort of, I have given you this example. So the last slides, I really wanted to finish because this is always 12 and the last slide of mine. A very cool example, what I found out actually yesterday, the adoption of residential heat pumps instead of gas boilers has been booming in the past years with double digits, reaching to a record of 1.45 million pieces in 2019. This is a really wow thing. And the data we can see, the heat pump market development in 21 EU countries, and source has been given. So this is really happening, and from the policy level, they're doing a lot. They're doing the level best, but from the core level, we with the technical people like the citizens, we have to be understand more of how to implement it in our practical life. So this is the end of today. So it's more than 12. So any question, please. Thank you very much for staying with us. And even though we couldn't go with the model, but we have been able to do it in a timely manner. Thanks God that I had your email from my previous record, because I was sending you the email that the documents will be uploaded soon on the Moodle. And then I found out. And later, some of you like Nelly and other were emailing me about how to get the access of this theme link. But hey, I have sent you the materials to your email. And of course, with the course overview structure, along with what is happening on the next class. So on the next class, I will be also sending you the PDF link of that book that you need to be reading. Just right now after cutting off this team meeting today, so that you can read it starting from today. And Flora and me will be uploading some information on the Moodle again by confirming you to fill up, so that we know which of you are attending the online rather than that of self-online study. I can see that there is a new participant called, okay, Pardeep Kumar. If you'd like to introduce yourself, maybe. Okay, if nothing is there, then thank you very much, everyone. If there is no question, do you have any question? Turja and Peter, any question?
The students from a group themselves and the common participants from a group themselves.
Yeah.
Percent.
Yeah, so basically what's happening is now we only know, because now we can see on the online there were like 8 or 9 people there, and like you, 2 of you, we will be sending you the group selection on the Moodle, so you can select the group. So because now the Moodle is not working, it's a tricky situation. So we haven't experienced this before. So what will happen is we can also by today, maybe we can send a Jamboard link, like so that you can form the group by yourself. We can send you the Jamboard link and you can make the group by yourself to that. And once the Moodle is online, we can give you the link so that you can write the group self-selection and put the name of it there, and then have a group conversation. And I don't think you don't have that much student at the moment, even though. So it's pretty simple. Yeah, I think that's a good question. Please, Laura.
What kind of implementation, then we need to first think about how many groups we are going to
Yeah.
have.
Yes. Yeah. But you see, the thing with that, even though you'll be divided into the group, so do not worry about your assignments, because you're sending your assignments by yourself, because you're reading the stuff by yourself. So it's not like you're sending by group. So in that case, even though the group is from a little bit later, that's not a problem, because you are sending a task and then you can form 5, 6 people and then start to have this participatory discussion and enjoy the time. Yeah. Any more confusion? Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed today's lecture. And let's meet again on 29th of September. Cheers and have a great weekend. Enjoy the lovely weather. It's sunshine outside. Bye-bye. Stop the recording.